France's story is a tapestry woven over thousands of years, shaped by hunters, artists, farmers, and warriors. Their legacy endures in the stones of Carnac, the painted caves of Lascaux, and treasures of Celtic chieftains. This land has always been a crossroads, its rivers and mountains guiding people and ideas. The journey starts here, in a land forged by many. Let's begin. Nearly 2 million years ago, the land we call France was wild and cold, shaped by the Ice Ages. Early humans like Homo erectus arrived, leaving behind simple stone tools, evidence of their struggle to survive. Much later, the Neanderthals appeared, perfectly adapted to the harsh climate. Stocky and strong, they hunted mammoths and bison, living in small mobile groups. Their lives were tough, but they thrived for hundreds of thousands of years. Neanderthals weren't brutish, they cared for their sick, buried their dead, and may have spoken a basic language. They showed the first sparks of symbolic thought, arranging stones and honoring their dead. For over 300,000 years, Neanderthals mastered this land, refining their tools and passing down knowledge. Their resilience is remarkable, but their world was about to change. A new group of humans was on the horizon, arriving from the east. The stage was set for a new chapter in the story of France. The Neanderthals' legacy remains in the tools and bones scattered across the land. They remind us that the roots of France run deep, far deeper than any written record. Soon, a new people would arrive, bringing new ideas and a new way of life. The ancient land was ready for its next transformation. The story of France's first inhabitants is one of endurance, adaptation, and quiet innovation. Their time may be gone, but their mark is indelible. The dawn of a new era was about to begin. 45,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, arrived in Europe. Taller and more inventive than Neanderthals, they brought new tools and a new way of thinking. For a time, both groups shared the land, but soon, only Homo sapiens remained. These newcomers were expert hunters, developing the spear thrower and crafting tools from bone and ivory. They sewed warm clothing and understood the rhythms of the herds they hunted. But their most astonishing legacy is their art. Deep in caves like Lascaux and Chauvet, they painted vivid images of bulls, horses, and bison. Using natural pigments, they created masterpieces that seemed to move in the flickering torchlight. The purpose of this art remains a mystery: ritual, magic, storytelling, or pure creativity. These caves are sacred spaces, windows into the minds of our ancestors. 30,000 years ago, people here had the same capacity for wonder and creativity as we do today. Their art connects us across millennia, reminding us of our shared humanity. The great painters of the caves left a legacy that still inspires awe. Their world was harsh, but their spirit was indomitable. In the darkness, they found beauty and left it for us to discover. The story of France is forever marked by their creativity. The echoes of their voices still whisper from the cave walls. This is where the soul of France began. Around 6000 BC, everything changed. The Neolithic Revolution began. People shifted from hunting and gathering to farming, settling in permanent villages. Wheat, barley, sheep, and cattle arrived from the Middle East, transforming diets and daily life. Villages grew, cooperation increased, and new social structures emerged. For the first time, people produced surplus food, reducing the threat of starvation. New technologies appeared: polished stone axes for clearing forests, pottery for storing food, and water. Life became more organized, but also more complex. The most mysterious creations of this era are the megaliths, huge stone monuments like those at Karnak. Thousands of stones were arranged in lines and circles, their purpose still debated. They may have been observatories, religious sites, or territorial markers. Building them required immense effort and cooperation. These monuments are powerful statements of belief and community. The Neolithic era laid the groundwork for everything to come. Farming, technology, and monumental architecture transformed the land and its people. The seeds of civilization were planted here. The story of France's first farmers is one of innovation and unity. Their legacy stands in stone, silent, but enduring. The land was ready for the next great leap. A new age was dawning. Around 2200 BC, bronze changed everything. Mixing copper and tin created stronger tools and weapons, sparking the Bronze Age. Bronze axes and sickles revolutionized farming. Bronze swords forged a new warrior class. Power shifted to those who controlled metal and trade, creating a more hierarchical society. Chieftains were buried with bronze weapons, gold, and amber, signs of growing inequality. New peoples arrived, including the ancestors of the Celts, bringing fresh customs and beliefs. The tumulus culture spread, marked by burial mounds for powerful leaders. Later, the Urnfield people cremated their dead, signaling a shift in religious beliefs. Fortified hilltop settlements appeared, hinting at increased conflict and competition. These changes laid the cultural foundations for the Celts. The Bronze Age was a time of innovation, migration, and transformation. The stage was set for the rise of a new people. By 800 BC, the Iron Age brought the Celtic culture to its peak. Gaul was a patchwork of tribes, each with its own leaders, customs, and territory. They shared language roots, religious beliefs, and a bold artistic style. Celtic society was structured: warriors and nobles at the top, druids as judges and teachers, and farmers and artisans forming the base. Master metalworkers, the Celts created intricate swords, shields, and jewelry, symbols of status and power. Their art was abstract, energetic, and inspired by nature. Most Celts lived in farming communities, growing crops and raising cattle. In danger, they retreated to fortified hilltop towns called oppida, centers of trade and power. The Celts' world was vibrant, complex, and ever-changing. Their influence stretched from Ireland to Turkey, but their heartland was here. The stage was set for new challenges and encounters. The Iron Age brought a new era. Iron tools and weapons were stronger and more abundant than bronze. Farming expanded, populations grew, and Celtic tribes flourished. On the southern coast, Greek traders founded Massalia, modern Marseille, opening Gaul to Mediterranean trade. The Celts exchanged tin, salt, and furs for Greek wine and luxury goods. Phoenician and Etruscan traders also arrived, blending cultures in the south. Southern Celtic tribes adopted new customs, drank wine from Greek cups, and even used the Greek alphabet. Wealthy oppida became economic and political centers, forging a hybrid culture. Trade brought prosperity and competition. The growing power of the Celts caught the eye of a new neighbor, Rome. The balance of power was shifting. A new era of conflict and transformation was on the horizon. The Gauls were famed for their bravery and ferocity in battle. Tall, fair-haired warriors charged into battle with wild cries and blaring horns. Some fought naked, trusting in courage and the favor of their gods. Skilled horsemen, they pioneered chainmail armor and wielded long iron swords. Their raids and migrations spread fear across Europe. In 390 BC, the chieftain Brennus led the Gauls to sack Rome, a humiliation the Romans never forgot. The event left a deep scar on Rome's memory, fueling centuries of rivalry. The Gauls' military prowess was legendary, but their lack of unity was a weakness. Rome rebuilt, determined never to fall again. The stage was set for a clash that would shape the future of France. The warriors of Gaul would soon face their greatest challenge. After Brennus's attack, Rome's relationship with the Gauls was tense and often violent. Rome expanded, conquering the Italian peninsula and then southern Gaul, creating the province of Gallia Narbonensis. Roman roads, merchants, and settlers followed, spreading influence northward. The rest of Gaul remained divided, a patchwork of warring tribes. In 58 BC, Julius Caesar used tribal conflicts as a pretext to invade. Over 8 years he played tribes against each other, leading disciplined legions across Gaul. The Gauls resisted fiercely. In 52 BC, Vercingetorix united many tribes, waging a desperate guerrilla war. The final stand at Alesia ended in defeat. Vercingetorix surrendered to save his people. The Gallic Wars ended with Rome triumphant. Gaul was now a Roman land. The conquest marked the end of Gallic independence and the birth of a new Gallo-Roman culture. The foundations of modern France were laid in the ashes of conquest. A new chapter had begun. The land of many peoples was now part of an empire.